The Healer from the Slum, a tale of unseen wisdom. Victoria Whitmore, a millionaire paralyzed for 8 years, lived a life of bitter opulence, her mansion echoing with the clang of discarded food. Across the street, in the impoverished Riverside Gardens, 12-year-old Daniel Thompson and his grandmother, Ruth, faced starvation. 3 days of witnessing Victoria's wasteful excess ignited a spark in Daniel. With the courage that belied his age, he approached her mansion, not to beg, but to offer a cure. "I can help you walk again," he declared, his voice calm despite the grandeur. "I just need the food you're throwing away." Victoria's cruel laughter sliced through the air. "You, a street urchin, think you could do what $15 million and the best doctors couldn't?" Her contempt was palpable, her steel blue eyes dismissing him as an unlettered slum kid. What Victoria couldn't fathom was that Daniel possessed a wisdom far beyond his years and station. Years of diligently caring for his diabetic grandmother had honed his observational skills, allowing him to perceive details that had eluded Victoria's costly medical experts. "You take medicine for back pain every day at 2 in the afternoon," Daniel stated, watching Victoria's mockery dissolve into surprise. 3 white pills and 1 blue one. "And you always complain that your legs feel cold, even in the heat." He had spent weeks observing her routine through open windows, not out of morbid curiosity, but because he recognized the same symptoms his grandmother had displayed before transformative surgery. Ruth's recovery had come not from expensive treatments, but from generations of ancestral knowledge. "Because I see what your expensive doctors don't want to see," Daniel calmly replied. "You don't need more medicine. You need someone who understands that sometimes healing doesn't come from where we expect it to." Victoria slammed the door, but not before Daniel glimpsed a flicker of fear in her eyes, a chilling realization that a poor 12-year-old boy had seen her truth. Unraveling the web of deceit, Victoria's unease festered. How did that boy know her secrets, details she meticulously hidden even from Dr. Hartwell, her private neurologist? A quick call to her assistant revealed Daniel Thompson's background. 12 years old, living with his grandmother, Ruth, a former hospital employee with an inexplicable recovery from severe diabetes. Victoria dismissed it as a bureaucratic error, unable to comprehend the profound knowledge an old black woman from a public hospital could possess. Meanwhile, Daniel, guided by his grandmother Ruth's wisdom, began to unravel Victoria's truth. Ruth, a nursing assistant for 40 years, held a deeper lineage of healing, passed down from her great-great-grandmother, a midwife and healer in Mississippi. It was this ancestral wisdom that had saved Ruth from a dire diabetes prognosis. Daniel's observations confirmed his suspicions. Victoria's paralysis wasn't physical. "Her legs tense when she doesn't realize she's being watched," Ruth explained. "The muscles respond to emotional stimuli." Daniel had noticed Victoria's unconscious leg movements when she was agitated, her legs tensing with deep upsets. "She's trapped in her own mind," Daniel murmured. "Her body works, but her mind has created the chains." Ruth confirmed psychological trauma manifested as physical paralysis. "Rich doctors don't want to treat the mind, only the body. It's easier to give medicine than to heal a wounded soul." That afternoon, Dr. Hartwell delivered a bombshell. Victoria's new tests revealed neural activity in areas that should be inactive. "Neurologically, there is no physical reason for your paralysis." He suggested psychological therapy, but Victoria erupted. "Are you saying I'm faking it?" The truth was a crushing blow. Her paralysis was psychosomatic, an 8-year self-imposed disability, diagnosed in minutes by a 12-year-old boy. That night, Victoria stared at Daniel's humble apartment. The realization that true knowledge lay beyond the reach of her immense wealth burning within her. Humility flickered, then was choked by a renewed anger. "That boy isn't going to humiliate me," she vowed, unaware that Daniel, with his grandmother, was meticulously planning his next move. He understood Victoria. Too proud, too rich, too hurt to accept genuine help. As Ruth had taught him, sometimes to heal someone, you first had to expose the true extent of their illness, the trap of arrogance. The following week, Victoria launched a silent campaign to humiliate Daniel. She contacted his school, accusing him of trespassing and harassment, leading to a stern warning about his scholarship. She pressured the building superintendent, creating a barrage of complaints and threats of eviction. She wants us to disappear so she doesn't have to face the truth about herself, Daniel told Ruth. Ruth, a survivor of decades of institutional racism, recognized the tactics of power wielded as a weapon. When rich people are afraid of poor people, she sagely stated, it's because they know they've done something wrong. Ruth recounted how a white doctor had tried to sabotage her career for knowing more than him, only to be defeated when Ruth's knowledge saved a patient the doctor couldn't. The truth always comes out, she concluded. Daniel understood. Victoria feared not just his ability to heal her, but the public exposure of her rejecting help from someone she deemed inferior. We don't just heal the body, boy. Sometimes we need to heal the sick soul of an entire society. Daniel delved into Victoria's past. She wasn't born into wealth. The daughter of poor European immigrants, she'd married Harrison Whitmore, heir to a fortune built on slave labor. Her accident occurred a day after she discovered Harrison planned to divorce her. He died suspiciously 2 years later, leaving his entire fortune to Victoria, a will change just a week before his death during a heart attack. Daniel also uncovered a deeper, personal connection. His ancestors had been enslaved by the Whitmore family. His great-great-grandfather was enslaved on their plantation. His great-grandmother was a maid in the mansion, and Ruth had cared for Harrison's dying mother. Ruth also held a secret. Harrison's mother had been cured of terminal cancer by Ruth's traditional treatments, a fact hidden from the family doctors. Victoria isn't just physically ill, Daniel realized. She's sick with guilt, fear, and shame. Her body is reflecting the prison she has built for her own soul, Ruth confirmed. And now, my grandson, you understand what true healing she needs. It's not just about making her walk again. It's about making her face who she really is and what she's done. Daniel's plan was audacious. To not only heal her, but to force her to confront a lifetime of privilege built on suffering, lies, and buried crimes. Victoria, planning her next humiliation, was unaware she was about to face 4 generations of accumulated wisdom, a lineage of healers, and a young man with the power to both cure and expose her completely. The reckoning and the real cure. The final confrontation arrived on a Sunday morning. Daniel, no longer using the service entrance, rang the front doorbell. When Victoria opened it, she found not just Daniel and Ruth, but also Dr. Patricia Williams, the neurologist who had secretly treated Harrison's mother. "Good morning, Victoria," Daniel stated calmly. "Today is the day you're going to walk again." Victoria, reeling, tried to close the door, but Daniel's voice stopped her. "They'll want to see this, too, especially when they find out who you really are." Ruth stepped forward, holding an old leather briefcase. Victoria Kowalski, daughter of Polish immigrants, born July 19, 1975, married Harrison Whitmore in 2005, 3 months after discovering he was cheating on her. Victoria's face paled. "The accident that left you paralyzed happened exactly 1 day after you discovered Harrison was planning to divorce you," Daniel continued. Dr. Williams, her head bowed in shame, then revealed her complicity. "Your tests always showed normal neural activity, but you paid me very well to keep that a secret, didn't you? $5 million to confirm a non-existent paralysis." Daniel then played recorded phone conversations from Victoria's own surveillance system, capturing her voice coercing Dr. Williams to maintain the false diagnosis. "Not just the calls," Ruth added calmly. "Daniel also documented how you can walk when you think no one is watching. 43 videos over 6 months. Daniel connected his phone to a speaker, and the marble hall filled with Victoria's own image, rising from her wheelchair, walking through her garden, even running on her treadmill. "Stop!" Victoria shrieked, her voice echoing alongside her recorded self, conversing normally with staff. "There's more," Daniel said softly. "Harrison's medical records. You altered his will while he was sedated. The same Dr. Williams who confirmed your fake paralysis also falsified your husband's death certificates. Dr. Williams confessed, blackmailed into confirming Harrison died of natural causes. Harrison was poisoned," Ruth stated with unwavering certainty, describing the undetectable digitalis. Victoria collapsed in her wheelchair, her world of lies crumbling. "He was going to leave me with nothing," she cried. Get up, Victoria. We know you can. Daniel commanded. With an involuntary jump of pure reflex, Victoria stood, trembling with rage and fear. Congratulations, Daniel said calmly. You're cured officially. Ruth presented police, FBI, and IRS reports detailing insurance fraud, falsified medical reports, tax evasion, and first-degree murder. Daniel added, the story of the fake millionaire paralytic who killed her husband will be national news by tomorrow. As police sirens approached, Victoria stared at Daniel, a mixture of hatred and grudging respect in her eyes. How did a 12-year-old boy manage to destroy my entire life? Very simple, Daniel replied. You completely underestimated someone who grew up knowing that survival requires intelligence, not privilege. And you forgot that sometimes the most powerful remedies come from where we least expect them. Justice, he proved, knows no color, social class, or limitations imposed by those who confuse money with impunity. The transformative aftermath. 6 months later, Victoria's mansion became the Ruth Thompson Community Center, funded by her confiscated assets. Daniel, at 14, became the youngest student in Harvard's history on a full scholarship to study medicine, humbly declining lucrative interview offers. Victoria, who once discarded lavish meals, now occupied a 2-square-meter cell, serving 25 years for first-degree murder. Her trial, a global phenomenon, became a symbol of arrogance's destructive power. The stark contrast between a 12-year-old boy's wisdom and a millionaire's ignorance resonated deeply. Dr. Patricia Williams, the black male neurologist, now volunteered at the community center. Daniel showed me that I spent 40 years looking only at machines, she confessed. I forgot that real medicine begins with observing the whole patient. That boy taught me more in 6 months than I learned in decades of expensive specializations. Dr. Hartwell, who had accepted payments for false diagnoses, lost his license and became a pharmacy clerk, a fitting irony for someone who had scorned unscientific treatments while participating in a medical scam. The Riverside Gardens community flourished, children dreaming of becoming doctors and scientists. Victoria, ironically, developed genuine leg problems in prison due to stress and depression, now reliant on a cheap infirmary wheelchair. Daniel visited her once. I never wanted to destroy you, he explained. I just wanted you to stop trying to destroy us. Victoria finally grasped the magnitude of her smallness, acknowledging that a 12-year-old boy possessed more wisdom and integrity than she had in her entire privileged life. Daniel's story, now a case study in universities, sparked the Daniel Thompson effect, forcing institutions to recognize exceptional intelligence in overlooked communities. Ruth continues to run the center, training a new generation of healers who blend ancestral knowledge with modern science. Victoria became a cautionary tale in criminology classes. Privilege without character leads to self-destruction. The true lesson of this story isn't just about a boy defeating a cruel woman. It's about a society that often ignores wisdom when it doesn't fit preconceived notions of who is smart or worthy of respect. Daniel proved that the most powerful healing isn't just for the body, but for the toxic beliefs that prevent us from recognizing value in every human being, regardless of color, origin, or socioeconomic status. Victoria tried to destroy Daniel, but ultimately destroyed herself. Daniel, in turn, transformed prejudice into an open heart, recognizing greatness where it truly exists.